The 2018 World Cup has featured such brilliant talents as Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, a hat-trick by England's Harry Kane and a golazo by Senegalese teenager Moussa Wague. It included the astounding snake pass from Colombia star James Rodriguez's teammate Juan Cuadrado to set up a goal against Poland. There has been no more astounding athletic feat in this World Cup, however, than the dash by referee Bjorn Kuipers to the replay monitor between the Brazil and Costa Rica benches to adjudicate whether a penalty kick should have been awarded on a foul against Neymar. World Cup 2018, Matchday Central, it shouldn't. And, in the end, it wasn't. The game clock showed 77-45 had elapsed when Kuipers made the initial signal that Neymar's tumble in the penalty box was worthy of a spot kick. After the initial consultation from the video assistant referee, VAR, through his headset, Kuipers became convinced it would be prudent to check the play on the sideline video monitor to determine whether the initial call was correct. He covered the 50 or so yards from the field to the screen by 78-30. He was back out and waving off the penalty call by 78-50. Getting the call right required only 65 seconds, a little extra exercise for the ref. American sports pioneered the use of replay review, for better or worse. The world is showing the US how it's done, though. The ref gets to the monitor, takes a look at the preferred angle selected by the VAR to judge the play in dispute and basically asks a simple question: did we screw up or not? Contrast that to the absurd deconstruction transacted in the NFL on plays such as Kelvin Benjamin's attempt to catch a touchdown pass in the Christmas Eve game between his Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. Or in the NBA, where referees are permitted to relitigate the circumstances of a block charge call, which happened on a decisive play involving superstars Kevin Durant and LeBron James in the first game of the NBA Finals. Ultimately, you want this game to be fair. Fox Sports analyst Alexi Lawless said of the World Cup's VAR system. Is it getting everything right? No. Because, guess what? It's still human beings. There is still a subjective nature. But all these human beings are much more informed with what they are able to see and the judgments they are able to make. More, round of 16 qualifying scenarios for every World Cup team. World Cup replay has not been flawless. The penalty kick awarded to Iran in its Monday game against Portugal was questionable, and the process of getting to that review was a bit sluggish. Iran's successful conversion dropped the Portuguese from first to second in the group. But earlier in the second half, referee Enrique Caceres had needed only 42 seconds to check the monitor and award a deserved penalty to Portugal's Ronaldo. That Iran PK became doubly debatable when a nearly identical play occurred a day later in Argentina's game against Nigeria. Against Portugal, Iranian striker Sardar Azmoun had headed the ball down into defender Cedric's arm as the two were battling in the air. That was called a penalty after review. In the Argentina game Tuesday, Marcos Rojo went up to head the ball down and wound up deflecting it from his temple into his left arm. After review, this was not ruled to be a violation. But the process from deciding to review to jogging to the monitor to returning and making a call lasted less than 90 seconds. The average length of an NFL replay review in 2016 was 2 minutes, 25 seconds. The review of Jesse James's apparent touchdown catch late in the Pittsburgh Steelers' December 2017 game against New England took 3.5 minutes and involved some degree of conjecture regarding whether James had controlled the ball as he went to the ground. No doubt the ball moved, but did his right hand remain between the ball and the turf until the play was complete? World Cup 2018, Cartoon Corner. The officials and NFL Vice President Al Riveron spend more time picking through that video than the traveling Wilburys needed to get through the end of the line. Replay has been a bit more fluid in NCAA basketball than the NFL. NCAA officiating coordinator J.D. Collins told Sporting News there were 117 replay reviews in the 2018 NCAA tournament. For the third consecutive year, they averaged 42 seconds. That's not very long, Collins said. The problem is using this year's tournament as an example. We had a 6-minute review in the Duke-Kansas game, and that's the only thing that people remember. The play in question was an out-of-bounds call with about a minute to play in overtime, when Duke's Javin DeLaurier and Silvio De Sousa of Kansas both pursued a loose ball and it was knocked over the end line. The ball was awarded to Duke, then the call was reviewed. Collins explained the officials did not see the best possible angle to decide on the proper call until they'd been presented a 10th alternative. This was possible because there are so many more cameras deployed on broadcasts of NCAA tournament games as opposed to regular season games. Our standard is indisputable evidence. In our fall training with referees, we're going to be hitting the fact that this isn't close. It either is or it isn't. We need to get in and get out, Collins said. But when the game is in the balance, you have to make sure you make the appropriate call and get it right. Duke, Kansas. It took 6 minutes to get the angle. If they don't wait to that angle, they miss the play and likely the outcome of the game changes. More, Messi aware of threat. France poses. College basketball replay reviews in the NCAA tournament are done on site by the officials at a courtside monitor. The Southeastern Conference, however, employed a collaborative method which included a central reviewing station like that in the NFL. SEC reviews averaged 57 seconds, with one that ran to 3:39. Only 7 of the league's 239 reviews ran over 3 minutes, with 2/3 requiring less than a minute. The biggest problem is with the clock. Dan Leibovitz, the SEC's associate commissioner for basketball, told SN. We spend so much time doing the clock, that's an advantage that soccer has. There's no last second plays. With the World Cup system, similar to the SEC's, the video assistant referee is located off-site, at the tournament's broadcast center in Moscow. The VAR room can check replays and notify the referee and crew a play ought to be examined. When it is determined a monitor check would be prudent, the VAR can have the best angles ready by the time the ref arrives at the sideline. That's not why the World Cup's video reviews have gone so smoothly, however. It's the standard by which they're operating. The search is for clear and obvious error. The clear and obvious error American sports have made with replay review is searching for perfection. Is video good for us? In reality, video is here. It's here to stay, Collins said. What we have to find is a balance between what's good for that game specifically and the game in a broader sense.